Welcome to Phoenix, presented by APS. Tonight we have Phoenix Rising and Las Vegas Lights. The Lights have never been successful here at Wild Horse Pass, and Phoenix is coming off of its best performance of the season. With Ricky Lopez-Espin, Michael Watring with you to watch this one here tonight as we take a look at the Western Conference standings. Vegas is in the playoffs if the season ended right now, but look at where Phoenix is, knocking on the door to make the push for the playoffs after feeling like perhaps the season had been lost. And the push to the playoffs started last week against Colorado Springs. Aiden Quinn and Olympico, and the offense just kept surging from that point.
And that's what was needed from this Phoenix Rising side, to see the floodgates open, the way that they scored, the amount of goals that they scored. But what's really important in this match is how they were defensively, just to limit Colorado Springs to 3 shots on target. So getting it done on both ends of the field, really good performance, and watch it come over tonight.
Our player to watch this evening is presented by Pacific Office Automation. It's Ben Lute. He leads the USL Championship with 76 saves, and he rides a 4-match shutout string, 12 more minutes, and it'll be the second longest shutout string in Phoenix Rising history. Las Vegas has 2 elite goal scorers, Cal Jennings and Danny Trejo, 17 of the team's 27 goals.
And when you talk about these 2 players, you're talking about pace, you're talking about creativity, you're talking about being a threat at all times. The different types of goals that they scored, they're able to stretch the back line, they're able to come to feet, they're able to beat you 1v1 through hard work and skillfulness. They both are handfuls to attack. So this back line for Phoenix Rising needs to be really curious, really together, and know where they are at all times.
These 2 teams have met already twice this season. Las Vegas has gotten the better of those 2 matchups, but they had only won 1 match prior to this season. Phoenix has dominated here at Wild Horse Pass, 22-3 goals advantage. They've scored at least 4 goals in each of the 5 meetings here in Phoenix. We are just about ready for kickoff. The Phoenix Rising season presented by Equality Health. Rising Las Vegas Lights, starting 11s and kickoffs right around the corner as we get set from Wild Horse Pass.
For all the special moments in your life, Arizona Federal Credit Union has been there for you. And for all the special moments still to come, we'll continue to be there. All the same amazing services you expect, with a new name. Arizona Financial Credit Union. Now serving everywhere you call home.
You might have heard of Carvana and that we sell cars online. What you probably didn't know is that we're in the business of making you happy. We believe buying a car should be something that gets you hyped up. That you should be empowered to shop when you want, where you want, wearing whatever you want. And that your new car ought to come with newfound happiness and 0 surprises. So we promise that we'll treat you right, we'll put you in control, and all of us will stop at nothing to drive you happy.
We'll drive you happy at Carvana.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Tonight's match is brought to you by Carvana, NAU Nationwide, Equality Health, and Arizona Federal. Take a look at the starting 11 for Rick Johnson's group here. Phoenix Rising, the 4-3-3 look, and what a breath of fresh air J.J. Williams was, scoring in his debut last week against Colorado Springs.
And he's going to be the focal point. You're going to look at Joey Kalish. You come underneath, and it's going to leave a lot of real estate for King to come across the edges. Obviously, Lambert, Quinn, Sejas going to be dictating tempo from left to right. Santi Moore, we know what he's all about. Look for him to combine with J.J. Williams, have that focal point, and that's going to free up a lot of space for Mowar to operate in.
Las Vegas on the other side will line up just like this. Jennings will be the target up top, but keep your eye on the team's leading goal scorer, Danny Trejo.
And it's a 4-1-4-1. You're looking at the middle of the field. Almaguer, Crisosimo, DeRoma to really dictate tempo. Get the ball to the feet of Cal Jennings. Let Danny Trejo move as he sees fit, come underneath, stretching behind. Really aggressive, really motivated, and really talented starting 11 for a weekend around.
Teams getting their final moments in here before we kick off. Here at Wild Horse Pass, is this the match where the fortunes change for Las Vegas? They've won both meetings already this season. Can they make it 3 for 3 out of the gates here in 2022? There's Enrique Duran leading his crew. Ben Lunt having a very good stretch of play. 12 times this year, the team's allowed 1 or fewer goals. And we're just about ready to kick things off here. It'll be the All Reds with the gold accents for Phoenix Rising. Blue shorts, white tops for Las Vegas. Greg Dopka is our official for this matchup, joined by Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Michael Watrang. Great to have you along for the ride here in the later portions of the evening, and we are underway from Wild Horse Pass. Well, speaking with Rick Shantz earlier this week, the satisfaction that the team had of scoring those 4 goals, a team in and of itself that had been shut out 3 in a row. You wonder if that opens the floodgates, gets the team off of that thought of being unable to score, and now they're able to find some of that rhythm and attack. Swung into the box. Nobody on that post.
And it's always an interesting thing as a team when you score 4 goals. It's not only when you play against a team that is riding the top of the Western Conference, always battling for the number 1, 2 spot in Colorado Springs, and you shut them out. See, like I said in the open, just 3 shots, limiting that high-powering attack, and then also scoring 4 goals. It's a complete performance for Rick Shantz and this Phoenix Rising team. And what's the response now? You see, use that to kickstart as playoffs are coming around. An attacking unit, you always like to see when the ball hits the back of the net. So look for that confidence to carry over into this game.
Good early push here for Rising. Santi Moar. And that one will be pulled in by Tomas Romero, the 21-year-old. Phoenix unbeaten in 4 straight. Their best string of the season, matching a 4-match winning streak from April. And a season that at one point seemed to be lost, but that just goes to show the high standards that Phoenix has put together over the last 5 years. And a result away today from being right back into the playoff picture firmly.
And it's really interesting to see how fluid the tactical ability is for Rick Shantz. You see Jai stepping up that front line. So it's going to be Jai, Williams, Santi Moore. As we take a look at Rick Shantz, you have Darnell King playing left back, Joey Calistri playing right back. Your middle 3 stay the same. They have the ability to pivot and adapt, and just to see how much talent, how deep this Phoenix Rising side is.
There have been changes throughout the season, trying to get that right group out there. Still perhaps waiting for Santi Moar to take flight. Just 1 goal this year after being an MVP finalist last year. It has been all Phoenix on the attack. Another cross comes in. It hits the chest after it hits Williams's head.
It's always going to be a big challenge for the back line from Las Vegas to contain J.J. Williams. Just requires so much attention. See, and Jai getting on the end of it. Darnell King just putting dangerous balls in. So if you're Lara, if you're K9, excuse me, you have to have a lot of communication to pass off J.J. Williams. He's just so clever in his movement, playing off the shoulder, off the outside backs, the center backs, finding those soft spots in and around that 18-yard box.
Challenging stretch for Las Vegas. This is the second of 4 in a row on the road. A trip to San Antonio, and a couple days later, a trip to Orange County, as they try to cling to that final playoff position here at this point in the season. Moar against Traore. And it's Moar called for the foul. Let's take a look at tonight's injury report, brought to you by Spooner Physical Therapy. It is just one on the Phoenix side to report. Las Vegas only has 5 substitutes available, although they didn't report any injuries. One of those is a keeper, so it's a very shallow bench for Enrique Duran here tonight. Does that play a factor this evening on the road?
I think the first 5, 10, 15 minutes where the lights are going to be extremely important. How do they weather the storm? Obviously, hostile environment, a team that's full of confidence at the moment. And went to it in the open. You're looking at the middle 3, DeRoma, Almaguer, Crisosimo. Get the confidence within the team and get those 2 men right there, Hal Jennings and Danny Trejo, in dangerous situations. We put this Phoenix Rising back line on the back foot.
Here's a good cross in. It's a header one. Williams, such a big target in there at 6'4". Including his time with FC Tulsa this season, 5 goals in his last 7, including the debut match last week.
This is why you go out and get a J.J. Williams. Just his physical presence in and around that 18-yard box. Just put balls into dangerous areas. Tell the big man, go get it, go do what you do. The reason why he's so well respected in this USL Championship, with the goals that he scored throughout his career. He looked at to keep on going, obviously scoring, like you said, Michael, in his debut. And what a goal it was, to be able to turn and pick out that near bottom corner. So look for him. Again, it's always good as a striker when you see the ball hit the back of the net in a new color as well.
Very little time has been spent for Vegas, not only just in possession, but on the opposite end of the pitch, having to do a lot of defending early. Winners 2-1 in the first meeting, 3-2 in the most recent. This ball brought down well by Jai. Good early pressure by Phoenix. Fans, be sure to visit your local Arizona Financial Credit Union branch to get your Phoenix Rising debit card. It's a great way to support the team and spread the word. And I've got to say, it's the coolest looking debit card I've seen. Visit ArizonaFinancial.org/Phoenix Rising to find out how you can score $100 when you open an account.
Keep an eye on the battle for second balls. That's what, when you have a target striker like J.J. Williams that has the ability to knock down Route 1 balls, it's a big challenge, a big battle for players like Sejas, Quinn to come underneath. But then on the other hand, DeRoma, Crisosimo to join that back line and do the defensive duties as well. It's that balance in that middle 3 that's going to be extremely key for Enrique Duran on both sides of the ball, attacking and defensively.
Speaking with Enrique Duran earlier this week, he mentioned that he has to remind the group that while it's important to consider the overall big picture, it's a game-by-game situation right now. Certainly hasn't been easy with the travel. Wants the team to stay healthy and realizes that playing this Phoenix team right now is going to be a big challenge. Said that Phoenix has begun to build upon these good performances, and key for tonight, manage their transitions and handle the set pieces. It has been a good early push here for a Phoenix team that has dominated. And we get not just a foul, but our first card of the night. Jorge Almagar, the 21-year-old from Dallas, gets shown a yellow card here in the 9th minute.
Challenge here from Almagar, just coming in a bit late on Jai. The ball's gone. You never want to see that as you're playing in the middle of the park now. So early, 9 minutes in on a yellow card. Needs to be extremely disciplined. And one, his positioning. Two, the challenge that he goes in. It's a big challenge now to be playing 80 minutes plus with the yellow card in the middle of this field.
Tenth minute. So far, just one shot attempt for Phoenix, but they have been on the front foot. Moar, it's a clever pass. Gets rejected by K9's backside.
You just see the rotation on this right-hand side as Kalistri plays his ball in. He doesn't stop his run. He takes that space that is vacated by Sejas. And Moar has the ability just to put this in the path. Give credit to Las Vegas and K9 just coming out big, not letting that ball go through.
Here's a great ball forward. Cal Jennings. Jennings can't get enough of it. Luke comes up with another big save this season.
And he's always going to be a threat, isn't he, Cal Jennings? Just the pace that he has, always ability to stretch the back line. There's a silly turnover from the rising down on one hand. You can just see how explosive they are now on the other hand, but give credit to Lund. Comes out big, comes out strong, closes down the angle. I think that second touch from Jennings gets him in trouble. It's a bit too heavy. It's a little bit of a raised eyebrow now.
Moar had a great first touch. Second one let him down. Trejo. Danny Trejo. Perfect pass. Jennings thinking. Trejo. Circles. Trejo. Cleared off the line. Vegas still pushing. And out for a goal kick.
And it's just route one here. Good ball around the corner from Leone. Catches out Musa, and it's that touch right there that gets Jennings in trouble. Takes him a bit too wide. And then the other hand, the other star on this team doesn't give up on the play. Give credit to King, last-ditch defending effort. As his feet is coming off of him, a bit of an acrobatic goal line save. You just see the threat that Jennings and Trejo possess.
This ball goes into the box. There were 3 white jerseys there. Phoenix clears. Moar waits for some reinforcements after Phoenix had to defend the corner.
And if you're Musa, Farrell in that back line with Phoenix rising, you always want to have a cover and a player facing Cal Jennings and Danny Trejo. They're too quick around the edges. We just need to have that good support system in that back line.
This ball comes into the box and over Williams this time around. Well, the streak has now reached 377 minutes without a goal allowed by Phoenix, longest since June of 2019, and now the second most in club history. 501 back in 2018. over nearly a 2-month stretch from June to late July. It's the all-time record. Moar's pass forward will eventually go out for a goal kick. The reigning title holders visit in-state rivals as the USL on ESPN2 continues. Orange County SC looks for a late season surge against Sacramento Republic FC Sunday, September 18th, 5 p.m. Eastern, that's 2 Pacific on ESPN2. Both teams have settled into this matchup. The defensive questions that Phoenix had to answer earlier this season have started to be significantly better. Last goal they allowed nearly a month ago, 85th minute strike against Memphis on July 9th. But with Trejo and Jennings, you have to look out. Iskandarian gets to the left. Iskandarian wins a corner.
And it's just a movement in the middle of the field from Las Vegas Lights as Jennings peels out to the right-hand side. It's Trejo that comes into the middle of the field and has the ability to get this ball, put it out. Iskandarian, a bit of individual skill, but give credit to Joey Farrell here. As Calistri is beat, he understands that, comes across, leaves his feet at the right time. Terrific defending.
So a corner kick coming up, first of the night on this side for Vegas. And a foul whistled inside of the box as we hit the quarter-hour mark here in the matchup and the 15th all-time meeting between Las Vegas and Phoenix Rising. Great to have you with us, with Ricky Lopez-Espin, our entire crew. Michael Watrang watching this one. Hope you're having a pleasant evening. Interac and need a check. Go on the offensive with Lerner and Rowe, the official personal injury firm of Phoenix Rising. Make one call. That's all to 977-1900. Get you all the money you deserve is our goal. Phoenix is a high-volume shooting team. Las Vegas 24th in the league in terms of shots, but a good conversion rate. So the first 16 minutes or so kind of playing into that. Vegas more selective in their chances, while Phoenix has been aggressive. Bring this one back. On a foul against Trejo. 24-year-old pleads his case.
It's really interesting to see how Las Vegas Lights is going to deal with the press from Phoenix Rising. They like to go route one there with Danny Trejo. That's always a big challenge to him in an aerial battle against Musa and Farrell. You want to play on the floor around the corners like they did against that Jennings chance. You have the ability to break the lines through your passing. The middle three, Daroma, Almaguer, Crisosimo. Really put pressure on this back line of Phoenix Rising. It's the way you're going to break down the unit. If you play route one to the head of Danny Trejo, that's not his strong point.
Clever work by Phoenix. Moar was the target of that pass, never reached him. Traore clears. Sejas. That one rolls out.
Need to be a bit more of movement in front of the ball. This is just a three-man game. Sejas, Calistri, Moar. There needs to be movement in front of that gap right on the corner of that 18-yard box, whether it's J.J. Williams checking in, and then it's Jai taking that space in the middle of the box, or is Aiden Quinn coming across to play that different link to go out the other way. When you have 3 players just standing across, it makes it far too easy for Las Vegas Lights to squeeze and leave this ball on this side. Langston a silly turnover that the ball played out of bounds. Those are little things that's going to be able to have the success for Phoenix Rising. They're so dangerous, so many attacking weapons on the field. It can hurt you in so many different ways. But if you're able to break and change to the point of attack, that's where you're going to see the most success.
Pass gets intercepted for just a moment. Trejo goes down. Moar thought about flying it in, instead lays back. Once again, Williams always the target in the box. Really fine defending. Jai gets to the box but can't make the pass. It's intercepted by DeRoma. So far this evening, a 5 shots to 2 advantage for Las Vegas. They have both shots on target in this match as well. Looking around the rest of the West, Los Dos falling to Loudoun in a surprise 2-0. New Mexico is down 2-0 against Miami. That's in the 73rd minute. And Orange County and Colorado Springs tied at 1. Moar. Lambert flips it into the air. Calistri. Quinn chipping it in. King. Phoenix making the case for a handball. Instead, it's just a corner.
And this was when Phoenix Rising are at their best. Movement off the ball. It's a deep run here from Darnell King. It was so hard to pick out, and when you have a player like Aiden Quinn that puts the ball on a dinner plate for him, don't think it's enough there for a PK. Again, you just see the confidence starting to brew for the Phoenix Rising as they're playing in and around that 18-yard box. A lot of movement, that's when they're at their best. Pumping balls into dangerous situations, and it's this man again pulling the strings like we've seen throughout his career.
This corner kick brought to you by Carvana, proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising. Carvana will drive you happy as a foul is whistled off of the corner. Joey Farrell getting into the box. Had one of the team's 4 goals last week in the 4-0 win over Colorado Springs.
I think just Joey Farrell just gets on top of the back of the head of K9 there. No ill will. You never want to mess with a head injury. Seems like he's okay. Such a big part of the defensive unit for Enrique Duran. Experience that he's had throughout his career. He's a leader.
Nearly 2 decades as a professional, 37 years of age from Israel. Any opportunity you get against a Western Conference foe, need to take advantage, and Phoenix in particular. 10 of the next 11 are against teams from the West. Only 4 of those are at home, though. A challenging stretch to try to make that push with teams in front and points needed to get above the playoff line. K9 back onto the pitch. Trejo. Taking on 3 defenders. Already seen Trejo and Jennings get open. Jennings 7 more goals this year after 11 a season ago. Trejo is taking his game up a level. Here's a giveaway that leads perhaps to a break, and it's a fine first touch. Jockeying for position, and a foul whistle on Phoenix.
And it's Phoenix Rising saying, yeah, you guys are explosive, as are we. Good look forward here from J.J. Williams, just putting into the path of Jai, and he does extremely well to try to skip away from Lara. We'll give credit to the back line of Las Vegas Lights. And there's a lot of grabbing both hands. I think this is maybe a soft foul as a reaction from the Phoenix Rising support group and Jai as well. You love to see this from Lara, understanding there is danger as the left winger is coming across me. I put my body in front of him. If I feel any contact, I'm going to make the most of it. He does, and he wins a really smart, cheeky foul for his side.
Advantage will be played here. Williams gets a little shoulder bump. There's an injury right in the center circle. There's a good pause here for a moment with Jai down. Been physical between these two sides. Phoenix looking to snap a 2-match drought.
Take a look at it here. Yeah, it is a really tough foul. A collision here from Crisosimo coming in. I think it's that right shoulder that hats his Jai as he lowers down going for the ball. You love to see there's no ill will again, but you never want to take chances when it's a head injury. He's been a bright spot, Jai, starting on that left-hand side. Really good, comfortable on the ball. The movement that he's been asked to do in the space that he's been picking up. Really a head scratcher, really asking a lot of questions from Las Vegas. Really interesting. You can see Rick Schantz talking to his boys about how explosive in transition Las Vegas is with Jennings and Trejo. But there's 2 things that you can do to stop that. So you drop off your Musa, Farrell, drop off of Jennings. Don't play touch tight, because if he turns you far too quick to get away from you, or you stop the counter at the source. What I mean by that is maybe it's a quick foul, or you get in front of that ball. You don't let that outlet pass break lines initially, because if that does, then it's off to the races, and that's what the last thing you want if you're Rick Schantz.
The Las Vegas team that's been in good form on the road, unbeaten in the last 4. They've only given up 2 goals in their last 4 road matches. 5 road wins on the season, 4th most in the West. Jai back onto the pitch. Let's see if one of these 2 sides can provide a spark here in the first half. Only 3 shots so far for Phoenix. Equality Health reminds you that next time you or a loved one needs preventative or routine care, go to your doctor first. Don't have a doctor? Go to equalityhealth.com to find one near you. Builds have certainly been there for Rising. To find that goal. Moar, back post, and a solid punch by Romero. Perhaps saving a goal-scoring chance. Pressure continues. Williams lays. He slips, pokes though. J.J. Williams gets a redirect, bangs the left bar.
And again, combination play on top of the 18 doesn't need to be pretty. Players losing their footing all over the place. Falls really nicely to J.J. Williams, and he has one idea, doesn't need a second invitation, just pulls the trigger. Give credit to Lara coming across, putting his body on the line, and that's what throws it off. Hits the bar, and then says, it's Romero on the top of the head as well, say, hey, we're right here. Lucky enough for you, it doesn't hit the back of the net. When you have the support players just coming in on top of that 18-yard box for Phoenix Rising, playing that support system underneath J.J. Williams, it's just so hard to defend, so much movement, so much confusion in that back line. The spaces that they pick up between lines, causing all sorts of problems for Las Vegas. Again, what a clean strike here from Lambert, pulling up from distance, laces behind it, head down, textbook.
It's another corner kick brought to you by Carvana. Aiden Quinn had an Olympico last week. Slicing ball here, but can expect an outswinger. Big bodies for Phoenix in the box. Quinn looking for Williams. It comes all the way to the sideline. Sejas. Moar thought about it. Moar pulls the string. Romero blocks. Phoenix getting closer and closer to the breakthrough. Vegas looking for the answer defensively. Haven't been able to clear in a long time. Sejas. Jai comes over to the right-hand side now. Finally, Vegas is able to sweep it away.
Just see what it does. Coming off the bounce of a 4-0 win. The confidence is brewing, the confidence is there. Players very courageous in the way that they step up, especially this man right here, Santi Moar. You see, doesn't have the stats that he did last year. Just 1 goal, 1 assist on the year, but you love to see him fancying himself and coming back to his true self that we expect from Santi Moar, pulling up from 25+ yards. Give credit to Romero, the goalkeeper for Las Vegas Lights. Every question that's been asked of him, he's answered. Really strong in his decision-making coming off the line. Really big-time saves, but it's been all Phoenix Rising. Rick Schantz has to be extremely happy. The only thing that he's missing is that opening goal, and when that opening goal is going to play in their favor, so it's going to make Las Vegas Lights stretch a bit more, have that response, and that's when you're going to see Phoenix Rising finding those spots in the real estate in behind the back line of the Lights.
We have a hydro break right now for the teams to refresh. It's time to take a look at the USL Championship Team of the Week. And of course, in net, Ben Loon, another terrific outing, now upping his season total, over 75 saves on the season. Of course, you have Aiden Quinn in that mix as well off the Olympico. Kevin Lambert joins the crew as well, and things clicking into gear for Phoenix Rising. 3 players more than any other team in the USL Championship in Week 21 to earn Team of the Week honors. There's Ben Lunt. The scoreless drought for foes nearing 400 minutes. One more save in this match. 77 now on the year, leading the USL Championship. 26 years of age. 6'6" from Germany. Kevin Lambert, 3 more goals this season. The Jamaican native, always a stalwart in that regard. And of course, Aiden Quinn, among the leaders all-time in assists. 5 goals this season. First team all-league last year. And here in the 34th minute, we restart action. Phoenix looking to break through. Been close on a couple occasions, particularly in the last few moments. A.J. Williams hitting the left post. Jai slowly working his way along the sideline. You have to credit what Las Vegas has done defensively. Been hard to penetrate. So Jai finds an empty space. Traore intercepts. Phoenix Rising FC's Summer Day special offer includes a ticket with a cheeseburger meal voucher and an ice cream starting for only $22. Visit phxrisingfc.com/tickets for more details. There's a good interception. Jai on the front foot. Defense stout again from Vegas.
Again, it's a Phoenix Rising press, causing all sorts of problems for the Lights to play out. It's when you need players like DeRoma, Almaguer to drop back a bit more and play that second support system. You have Crisosimo has that lone pivot in front of that back line. But the numbers that Phoenix Rising brings into the middle of the field when they're in their defensive shape, it's far too many. So you need more players, more support system, different angles to break through lines.
Jai, clever touch. Wants a penalty, not given. Possession for Phoenix right now is above 60%. They've controlled the tempo in this match. 7 shots to 5 leaders. And a Las Vegas team that has never won on this pitch has given up 22 goals in 5 prior meetings. Showing well, but scrambling defensively. Rare move forward here for Las Vegas. They need something like this to take the pressure off of the defense. Just cannot hold on to possession long enough. Ben Lunt. Passing's been so good today from Phoenix. Space created with a pass. Low ball looking for Jennings, and Lunt alert to it.
I'll tell you what, it's a well-worked movement on the right-hand side from the Lights. Again, it's Leone trying to play this ball into the path of Jennings, but give credit to Lund. It's the only thing that Phoenix Rising needs to be careful about as they're committing numbers forward. When they're on the attack for much of this half, they don't want to leave themselves too vulnerable going back the other way. You always have to remember the weapons that Las Vegas Lights have. Cal Jennings and Danny Trejo can turn this game in a blink of an eye, whether it's through individual brilliance, combination play between the two. It's when you have speed defending with the ball. A lot of coaches talk about the organization. This is a brilliant training technique, an opportunity for Phoenix Rising as they're seeing a lot of the ball. What is Joey Farrell and James Muslin, what are they talking to their outside backs, the players in front of them when we lose possession? How are we going to be able to stop this counterattack, whether it's at the initial press, whether it's at the back end?
It almost happened to Phoenix about a half hour ago that they were exposed with Jennings receiving a pass on a breakaway and would have liked to have had another crack at it. Perhaps here's the chance. Trejo, two defenders. Trejo once more with it. Iskandarian. Ball didn't go out of play. Las Vegas will maintain possession as Trejo unable to hold on. Player injured. Looks like Lambert. In the 40th minute. No score so far. Rick Shantz pleading his case.
And it's a good understanding here from Iskandarian and Trejo. Just the timing to perfection. Give credit to Kalishi. It does hit his hand on the backside, but I don't think there's much. It'd be a very hard PK, really harsh PK if he calls it. I think the argument is from Rick Shantz and the Phoenix Rising players is that there's always something after the play. From Las Vegas Lights. Really hard done by.
Lambert back to his feet. There's a challenge in the middle of the field.
There's just Crisosimo coming in. Their studs are exposed. It is a hard challenge. Gets a lot of Lambert's right ankle. I think there is a case to be had. Very lucky Crisosimo in that challenge that he goes into. Just the way that the studs are exposed. Good to see Kevin Lambert on his feet, walking on his own will.
No score here in the 42nd minute. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Back onto the pitch. Vegas taking their opportunity to make this push forward. Jennings the target. Another throw coming here for Las Vegas. This is perhaps the longest they've spent on this end of the pitch, other than a couple corners that they had very early going in this match. The Roma. Flag down. Poked backwards, shot attempt blocked. The Roma turns. move through the middle by Crisostomo, but the flag does go up here for offside. Pre-game with Raising Cane's, proud supporter of Phoenix Rising. Skip the line and order on our easy mobile app for your order of premium, fresh, hand-breaded chicken fingers, special sauce. And don't forget to add our fresh hand-squeezed lemonade. Let's go Rising. Does Phoenix have an opening goal here in the first half, or do we go into the locker rooms deadlocked at 0? Rising has been close. Haven't burst through the door yet. Moar. The overlapping run, Traore, who's had a good opening half, again defends well. Williams! He thought perhaps he was going to put himself on the highlight reel.
It's just a heads-up play here from Aiden Quinn. First thought is to play this little wall pass. I think if J.J. Williams just knocks this down into the path to Quinn, the far different results. It always is a hard ask, a big challenge. As this ball's coming over your left shoulder, one, you need to let it go down. You don't have that time in and around that 18-yard box with the defenders of Las Vegas Lights on your shoulder. I think the better decision there would have just been to drop this down and let Aiden Quinn try his luck, put his laces through it.
J.J. Williams has provided so much for this group. He dummied that ball. Nobody was making the additional run. Tomas Romero clears it to midfield. Phoenix has had so many of these interceptions. We'll have 5 minutes of stoppage time. Remember, we had a hydration break. Moar flops, wants a little help from DeRoma to get back to his feet. There's still plenty of time left. Jai stepped in. He thought that he had the ball, and frustration mounts against Greg Dopka.
You have to be really careful if you're the Las Vegas Lights to pick and choose your time, when to play out, when to dribble out. Credit to Jai, really active on both sides of the ball. And that call goes against, and there's a no call there. 3 against 1 the other way for Phoenix Rising. So if you're Lara, you have to be extremely decisive and clean in your decision making, playing out of the back.
Here's Trejo on the counter. Danny Trejo.
And this is the part where you want Danny Trejo, if you're Enrique Duran, 1v1, running that. Joey Calistri, heels, putting him on his heels. Time and time again, we've seen Danny Trejo cut into the right-hand side for a bending ball to the near post, or laces through it to the near post. This time he goes for the left-footed and just rises up on top of him, but he's just so dangerous. That's when you need players, Joey Farrell, to come across and play that support system like we saw earlier in that first half.
Moar does take a redirection, but Tomas Romero, who's had a solid first half, covers that ball. So far through this first half, this has been anything but the result that you could have gotten used to when these two teams have collided here at Wild Horse Pass. Vegas has conceded at least 4 goals in each of its first 5 trips, 3 times giving up 4, twice giving up 5. Phoenix has been unable to take advantage in this first half of some attacking opportunities. J.J. Williams hitting the left post back in the 29th minute. Santi Moar forcing a save from Romero. Good news for Phoenix is the shutout string will continue. rack up here as long as they can continue to play good defense.
It's far better from Las Vegas Lights playing out of the back. Iskandarian just shifts out to his left-hand side, and Jerome rotates inside. A lot of movement in the middle third. They're out the other way, something that was lacking earlier in this first half.
Trejo, Danny Trejo, he slides through two defenders, and Ben Lunt again makes a big save.
Just stop this, Danny Trejo. The ability to pull this off. First that touch, then this one, the fake shot in just close quarters. I think if he puts it to the far post, looking at a goal there. Credit to Ben Lunt. Again, standing up massive for Phoenix Rising.
So here in the latter portions of this first half, a corner kick in. Lunt's in the great spot to be able to make another save. Fans not happy with the way Las Vegas is seeing out the final few moments. And certainly the frustration of the coaches and the players aiding in the boisterous level of the fans at this juncture. And now a card has come out, and that's going against Santi Moar. Moar coming in to say his piece, and Greg Dopke did not like it.
And there's no need there if you're Santi Moar to get involved with the shouting match. You're always going to lose this one against the referee.
Well, we've hit that minimum 5 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. So unless there's additional time left and we're unaware of, we will head into the locker room at 0-0. Greg Dopke is going to just drop this ball down, and we'll get back into it. This could certainly help Phoenix if they make this final charge. Jai watches it go out. And there is your first half whistle. It was a good charge by Phoenix for a good chunk of time. They controlled the possession, but unable to score, and it is Las Vegas with more total shots, more shots on target, despite fewer possession. And 0-0 is the score at halftime. Ricky, your thoughts on the opening 45 minutes of this match?
And you look at Phoenix Rising, they're doing everything well, just lacking that finishing touch, finding the back of the net. Really good interchange on top of that 18-yard box. Santi Moar has been really good. JJ Williams has been really good as well. We just need that opening goal to open up the floodgates like we saw against Colorado Springs. Las Vegas Lights, always be careful on the counter. We've seen what Danny Trejo can do just with a little bit of space. Cal Jennings always stretching that back line. You need to keep feeding those players to get their confidence high. All to play for in this next 45 minutes. Really looking forward to it.
Through the first 3/4 of an hour, this has been anything but what history has been. Phoenix dominates Vegas at home all time, but it's 0-0 at the break. Halftime at Wild Horse Pass. More to come in a moment.
Lerner & Rowe is proud to be the official personal injury attorneys of Phoenix Rising. Our goal is is giving you all the money you deserve. When you're in a wreck and need a check, make one call, that's all, to Lerner and Rowe.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
You might have heard of Carvana and that we sell cars online. What you probably didn't know is that we're in the business of making you happy. We believe buying a car should be something that gets you hyped up, that you should be empowered to shop when you want, where you want, wearing whatever you want, and that your new car ought to come with newfound happiness and zero surprises. So we promise that we'll treat you right, we'll put you in control, and all of us will stop at nothing to drive you happy.
We'll drive you happy at Carvana.
Hello, I am Jose Luis Cruz Rivera, President of Northern Arizona University. We are a proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising. NAU and Phoenix Rising have much in common. We are both building on a strong foundation of success. We are both champions in our own fields, and we both strive for excellence. At NAU, we offer the advantages that come with a higher education to all of the members of our community. We are helping our students build a bright and boundless future for themselves, their families, and their communities. Come visit us at NAU and go Rising.
Las Vegas and Phoenix deadlocked at the break. 0-0 is the score. And these two sides locked into a good one. Joey Calistri is doing some terrific work in the community. Here's more on his homeless ID project.
This campus is quite unique. It is 15 or 16 agencies working together on a 13-acre campus, providing resources from which people can end their homelessness. And the campus, if you drive by, it looks like a place where people are being homeless, but it's actually a place where people can find the resources to end their homelessness, and that's quite unique. We've got, first of all, Homeless ID Project, which is near and dear to my heart, of course, but you need to get an ID before you can get anything else. And once they have the ID, they can apply for jobs, they can apply for housing, all those sorts of things. We've got a medical clinic, we've got a dental clinic, we've got organizations that help with mental health and addictive health. We've got a jobs program. We have 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. We have a shelter. Mike McQuaid, the guy who basically created and established this campus, worked with the U.S. Post Office and convinced them to open a post office right on the campus in the Brian Garcia Welcome Center. And that campus serves everybody who has a campus ID. They can get whatever mail incoming and outgoing. And it's, as you saw from the video that you took in there, I mean, almost everybody that comes through here uses that. It's a hugely successful, hugely popular part of the campus.
Yeah, no, it was great. And, I want to thank Homeless ID Project for having us out. And it was great to see all the different resources that come together on this campus. Like you said, I believe it's 13 acres, and from getting IDs to having a mail room, dental, medical care, homeless court. There's so many different resources that you don't necessarily think of immediately when you think of people who are homeless. So I think just having all those resources and having them in the same location is eye-opening.
Sports franchises have fans, they have visibility, and that visibility, getting people to understand what goes on down here and the importance of what goes on down here is critically important. So sports teams play a major role, I think, in helping to pull together a community from a spirit perspective, and using that spirit to provide information, I think, is critically important.
Our club has a strong emphasis on building a sense of community. That's why our games are so inclusive, so fun to come to, and we know people are spending their hard-earned money to come watch us play soccer, but these issues are things that we care about. So I think visiting homelessidproject.org and volunteering, donating, raising awareness, educating yourself are all very important aspects that you can do to help this issue become resolved.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
I'm on that routine. I'm on that routine.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Welcome you back to Wild Horse Pass. 0-0 is your score at the break. It was an entertaining opening 45 minutes with 17 combined shots, but no score thus far between these two sides. Time for the news and notes from around the USL Championship. Tampa Bay has won again, so their unbeaten string extends to 13 in a row. Mark your calendars for September 7th, 8 o'clock, ESPN+. The US Open Cup final, Sac Republic and Orlando City SC. That'll be a dandy of a matchup. First lower division team since 2008 to get to the final. And voting open now until Monday at noon at USLChampionship.com for the 5 candidates for the eFootball Player of the Month. Time to take a look around the rest of the scoreboard. One score that really sticks out to me to start things off. How about Kyle Murphy scoring twice? Been a rough season for him with Miami, but he leads Miami FC 3-0 over New Mexico, and San Diego has just taken the lead on San Antonio as well.
And once Miami FC, they start going, they start getting confidence. Watch out, Anthony Pulis and the boys, never an easy out. You take a look at Orange County taking care of Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Hard 2 games for the Switchbacks. Obviously losing 3-1 there. And Monterey Bay 0-0 with El Paso. And Loudoun United taking care of Los Dos, really putting a damper on Yoandame's and Los Dos' playoff aspirations.
Christian Fletcher, the 16-year-old, getting a brace in that win for Loudoun United. Do we have a second half outburst here at Wild Horse Pass coming for you? It's 0-0 at the break. Vegas and Phoenix, second half coming your way when we return here in a moment.
This is Sanderson Ford Country.
All roads lead to Sanderson Ford for sales, service, and satisfaction. Check out America's best lineup like the all-new award-winning electric Mustang Mach-E. Blaze new trails and a new Bronco and drive America's best-selling trucks for 45 years. No hassle, no pressure, no nonsense, and no added markups. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford for sales, service, and satisfaction.
Pacific Office Automation is the one source for all of your business technology. Copiers and printers, managed IT and cloud services, unified communications and telephones, security systems and cameras, complete conference room packages. You need to partner with a total office solutions provider that gets it. Pacific Office Automation, problem solved.
Hello, I am Jose Luis Cruz Rivera, President of Northern Arizona University. We are a proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising. NAU and Phoenix Rising have much in common. We're both building on a strong foundation of success. We are both champions in our own fields, and we both strive for excellence. At NAU, we offer the advantages that come with a higher education to all of the members of our community. We are helping our students build a bright and boundless future for themselves, their families, and their communities. Come visit us at NAU and go Rising.
Tonight's match is brought to you by Carvana, NAU Nationwide, Equality Health, and Arizona Federal. Time to take a look at the first half highlights. Phoenix Rising and Las Vegas getting off to a quick start. This delightful pass from the middle of the yard from Leone. Picks out Cal Jennings. He goes on the breakaway, normally finishes in these spots, but that last touch lets him down.
And I think it's this touch right here that's far too long. That gives Ben Lunt the opportunity to come out. Big kick save from Phoenix Rising, and that goalkeeper was really good when asked upon. Then Danny Trejo starts to come alive here. You just see he doesn't give up. Little combination play, and then Darnell King doing his best. Ben Lunt.
That was the best opportunity of the opening half, with King getting a big stop. That was the best opportunity for Vegas. How about this one from Phoenix? J.J. Williams stumbles twice, gains his form, puts a shot on that rings the bar, and it was a good block by Alejandro Lara. First and foremost is Romero hasn't hit his back, but he recovers, and that keeps it scoreless in the 29th minute. Fast forward to the end of the opening half. Danny Trejo, look at these moves. Wins possession with the left foot, gets it with the right. One more touch, shot goes on. Ben Lunt, 4 saves, none bigger than that one in the first half.
Just see how talented Danny Trejo is in tight quarters. It was to skip away from a couple defenders. I think if he pulls this one a bit farther, looking at a 1-0 Las Vegas lead, and for Enrique Duran, you're going to want to see more of Danny Trejo getting into attacking third, as well as Cal Jennings. We want Deroma, Almaguer, and Crisosimo to really dictate tempo. Most of the Las Vegas possession was a ball over the top. Give it to 1v1 to those special players and see what they can do. We give credit to Phoenix Rising and Rick Shantz. Had a game plan and we're perfecting it, playing it to perfection. Only thing that was lacking was that finishing touch and finding that back of the net. But look for them to be motivated, come out in the next 5 minutes to try to find that opening goal.
Well, this is played into what Las Vegas does. Nobody in the USL Championship has held more opponents scoreless in the first half than Las Vegas. This is the 15th time this year in 23 matches. Is it the second half where these two sides find that electricity from a goal-scoring perspective? I have some great goal scorers out there, a pair of double-digit players, one for each side. And we are ready to start off the second half of action here at Wild Horse Pass with Ricky Lopez Espin, Michael Wattrang, our entire crew. Glad you're spending part of your Saturday evening with us. Hope you're having a pleasant day wherever you may be for this matchup. 15th all-time meeting. Phoenix has won 9 of the 15, but Vegas has won both meetings this season. Let's see how these two sides square off here in the second half. No changes made for either side. looking at how things are going around the rest of the West, Phoenix has risen to a tie for 9th, but if they are able to come out with a full point allotment, they put themselves right on the cusp of the playoff line and be a point behind Las Vegas for that final playoff position. And that was the big question that Rick Schantz asked when we spoke to him this week. Great performance against Colorado Springs. Now, can they put it together for back-to-back matches?
And that's really what's important at this point in the season. Yes, you can do it once, but to be able to pull it together, do it week after week, game after game, that's when you start seeing the most growth. That's when we start seeing the most climbing of the Western Conference table. And then in playoffs, anything can happen, but it's how to get there. You need to get there on form, and what a right foot in the right direction was that match against Colorado Springs.
It's a team in Phoenix that is 1-5-4 since May 28th, had been winless in 9 straight prior to the victory against Colorado Springs. And despite all of that, despite all of the bumps in the road, the injuries, the fact that this team had not played 2 consecutive lineups until pretty much the 20-game mark. After all that, here they are, Quinn. Shot block on the cusp, still with a couple months to play to be able to make that final push. Get into the playoffs, a familiar spot for Phoenix Rising. Leg is up here. JJ Williams wants to see the net ripple.
Already coming out of the break, you can just see how advanced Aiden Quinn is taking that position. As this ball shifts out to his left-hand side, it's Darnell King pinching in, Jai stepping, giving the width, and then it's Aiden Quinn pushing up under that pocket underneath JJ Williams. A really high IQ in the attacking phase for Rick Schantz and Phoenix Rising. So if you're Las Vegas Lights, how do you counteract that? You have Crisosimo sitting as that single pivot. You have the soft spots in and around him. You need players, Almaguer, DeRoma to come in. There's a lot of communication between Lara and K9 to push up and get off their line to close down that gap. You can't give time and space to Phoenix Rising. They'll hurt you. They're way too good, too many talented players.
It was one of the key compliments that Rick Schantz mentioned about JJ Williams, saying that he can turn you and finish, but perhaps what separates him is the amount of movement that he does when the team has possession and he doesn't have the ball. He's constantly thinking about how he can score. How can the players around him find him? And you have players like Aiden Quinn and Arturo Rodriguez on the track back. His brother David Rodriguez just signed earlier this week as well. Will be fit and in form coming up. This Phoenix team could be scary down the stretch. Crisosimo, Lute gets a piece. That one nearly fell in space for Vegas. That perhaps leaves Vegas a little exposed. Lights getting back. Remember, only 4 subs on the bench tonight. A lighter bench for Enrique Duran. Moar. There's been some good real estate here. Jai. Corner kick coming up for Phoenix.
And Vegas has had the most success when they change the point of attack. And it's an isolation play, good understanding. As one player's driving at Musa, Iskandarian just comes across. Give credit to, again, Ben Lute. Off his line, extremely big. Back the other way, really good. See how this game opens up. It's going to be a big challenge for both defensive units. So far, so good for both. Keeping an egg.
This ball not handled all that well. It does fly in. Williams trying to go with the heel. It does feel like if Vegas is going to score, it's going to come on the counter. This is how Phoenix is built. A season-high 4 goals in that 4-0 win over Colorado Springs last week. Cal Jennings. Now a long distance dedication from Traore gets blocked. You can just see the difference. When Phoenix attacks, there's red jerseys everywhere. When Vegas attacks, there's only 4 supporting bodies around the 18.
It's been play at a higher tempo, Enrique Duran's boys, especially when you see the real estate and Phoenix Rising committing a lot of numbers forward to take advantage of it. It's far too slow coming in and joining the attack. It was only 3 players, Jennings, Trejo, and Traore. Yes, they're very good. They're very talented players. You're going to need a lot more than that to break down this defensive unit of the Phoenix Rising.
Well, there are some white jerseys around the area. Jai, so clever with a pass, but nobody was able to link up.
Las Vegas Lights is going to have a lot of numbers around the edges, just the way that formation matched up as Phoenix Rising places 4-3-3. Phoenix Lights plays a 4-1-4-1, so they have a lot of numbers and overlapping on either side of the pitch. Just looking for those players, whether it's Crisosimo, Iskandarian, Trejo, to stay wide, provide the width for the attacking unit, which that's going to spread out. Phoenix Rising is going to force the hand of King and Jai on their respective halves. Make a decision. Do I stay with the player? Do I go with my defensive unit? That's where you see the spaces opening up for Danny Trejo to come underneath and Cal Jennings to operate as well.
Those 2 players have combined to score 17 goals. The best 1-2 punches in the championship. Iskandarian always flying high there, but nevertheless, might as well take a shot from distance and test Loon. There's a foul, and fans arguing for a yellow, and indeed they will get one. Iskandarian accepts.
Just gets beat off the dribble here, Iskandarian. There's really no need. Handful of jersey right in front of the referee. You're always going to see the color yellow. You have to think, as he gets beaten, where's the support? Where's the second defender helping him? It's been too big of a gap. It's yards between the lines of the defensive positioning from Las Vegas Lights. And you see all the success of Santi Moar and Jai coming in those pockets right underneath in between Crisosimo. So as one player steps, the front line, Enrique Duran's boys step, you need that secondary movement. That midfield line needs to step, and then the back line comes in.
We've been very complimentary of Phoenix's attack tonight, but it hasn't necessarily resulted in shots on target. Just 1 so far this evening on 10 shots. What's missing right now for Rising?
We just need that final product. Yes, it's good if you have Santi Moar pulling up for 20 yards. We've seen him score goals like that. We've seen him, he has the talent to do it. But it's going to take something special to beat a keeper from that distance like Romero. You're going to need that combination play. Earlier in that first half, they're playing balls in to J.J. Williams, saying, go get it, go knock it down. We'll get the second balls. We'll have the combination play. In that first half, you had that little 1-2 between him and Aiden Quinn. And he elects to shoot J.J. Williams. If he plays that ball down to Aiden Quinn, I think we're looking at a 1-0 lead for Phoenix Rising. So they're so good at playing and moving, especially on the 18-yard box. They have players that are technically sound, skillful. They can pull you apart. So I think if you have that, you get in those positions, you have to take advantage of it and have that extra pass and have that composure to pull it off. So they have the quality, we've seen it.
Well, the stat that highlights what we're talking about is despite the fact that possession 55% in favor of Phoenix, they have fewer touches inside of the opposition box. 14 for Vegas, 13 for Phoenix.
And if you're looking at your goalkeeper as well for Phoenix Rising, they have a massive performance from Ben Luke so far. A couple times he's answered the question, denied Danny Trejo at the doorstep.
Four shots to one on target advantage for Vegas. Trejo and Jennings been key cogs in that attack. Combined have 4 of the team's 11 shots. Here's a swinger, Jai. A lot of defenders around him, doesn't find a seam that he likes. Now King. King circles back around. Moar does very well to keep that ball in play. Touch pass, doesn't have enough on it. Foul whistled. Phoenix guilty. Changes coming for Phoenix. Arturo Rodriguez and Greg Hurst will be summoned. It'll be Santi Moar and Babu Jai coming out. Just goes to show the depth, though, of this Phoenix team with Rodriguez and Hurst coming on. Hurst with 5 goals this season, his first with the Rising.
Entering the match is number 17, Greg Hurst. Leading the match is number 7, Santi Moar.
Those are our first subs of the match. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of the USL Championship action on ESPN+, the home to USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com.
A little tactical shift here for Rick Shantz. As Greg Hurst comes in, he's going to play to the right-hand side. Going to bring Rodriguez, until Rodriguez push up in the front 3. It's going to be Rodriguez, Williams, then Hurst. Middle 3 stay the same. Sejas, Quinn, and Lambert. And you're back 4, King, Musa, Farrell, and Calistri as well. You're looking at Arturo Rodriguez to come in as a pocket player. So good between the lines, so comfortable, so creative. He's going to play off of J.J. Williams and look for Greg Hurst to make that secondary movement.
J.J. Williams has been so quiet here in the second half after he made a good impact in the first. Defense has been sturdy for Las Vegas here on the road. Rodriguez. Great touch, great evasion. Eventually runs into Crisostomo. Another ball came onto the pitch after the throw was coming in. Here's this ball into the box. Just gets played out, and a corner kick coming up here for Phoenix. Corner kicks tonight brought to you by Carvana, proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising. Carvana will drive you happy. Greg Hurst and J.J. Williams going over some notes on how to handle this set piece. As we hit the 1 hour mark, still looking for a goal. Aiden Quinn, out swinging ball. Williams the target. cleared out. Quinn will get another crack at it. This time the right boot. Williams. Romero with a good punch. And a foul whistled on Phoenix.
And he's just been so good, Romero, in the back line, the goalkeeper for Las Vegas Lights. Having the decision making and sticking to it when you come out, making contact with the ball, not getting caught in no man's land. We've seen time and time again, players, goalkeepers that come out, kind of freeze. Am I gonna get the ball? Am I not gonna get the ball? You wanna stick with your decision. He does just that, punching it away. Takes a lot of contact in the aftermath between him, King, J.J. Williams. He's been a bright spot for Enrique Duran.
Romero has represented El Salvador on the national team level. Played a season with Georgetown. Prior a member of the Philadelphia Union's Youth Academy. Cintron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand and proud to be the exclusive energy drink partner of Phoenix Rising. Ready to energize? Visit cintronworld.com and join the vibe on social by following @CintronWorld. Cheers. '63rd minute with Ricky Lopez Espin, Michael Watring, and our entire crew hanging out with you this evening. Great to have you with us. Rodriguez, I think, wanted the ball wide. The pass went to the end line because of a deflection, and a corner kick coming up yet again for Phoenix. Rising will get their 5th of the match. Quinn strikes. And once again, headed right back out. Quinn waits to settle and gets another corner out of it. All these corners that continue to add up. This time they lay it back. Driving to the touchline, clipping it in. Williams, the target, and on the back post. Hitting the outside of the cage, Lambert.
A really heads-up play here from Aiden Quinn. That's Las Vegas Lights. It's not set up. He likes to go short. And Sejas has the understanding to take that second touch to really freeze the back line of Las Vegas Lights and create some space between him and DeRoma. If you're Cameron Lambert, you're going to want this one back. I think it comes bit too quick for you, not able to get your feet underneath you, have the body position to head that back across. I'll tell you what, Las Vegas Lights have been extremely solid in defensive positionings and defensive duties on set pieces. Give credit to Enrique Duran and that back line. They're making life extremely difficult for Phoenix Rising to break them down. Pumping balls into the box. K9 and Lara have been extremely good.
Updates from around the league. San Diego takes down San Antonio 3-0. Evan Conway, a 3rd consecutive game winner. Here's a long distance attempt that Romero handles. Stoneman and Vassell also add goals. Colorado Springs comes back to tie Orange County 3-3. Haji Berry, a penalty in the 2nd minute of stoppage time, preserves a point. We have some late game dramatics here. Still looking for our first goal. Phoenix has never lost or drawn to Vegas here at home. Putting up at least 4 in all 5 prior meetings, but finding the net has been more difficult. The goalless drought for Phoenix opponents has reached 420 plus minutes. Phoenix Rising haven't allowed a goal since July 9th. Defense has been strong yet again. Ben Lunt, 4 more saves this evening. The press has always been there, but just 2 shots on target. Jennings slides through 2 defenders, doesn't get enough on the pass for Trejo. Looked like things were opening up.
Fortunate enough for Phoenix Rising. Jennings doesn't take a peek over his left shoulder. He has Iskandarian with tons of real estate and just rolls that ball in.
Rodriguez. No foul whistled. He wanted one. Game continues. Both sides have had their fair share of arguments to Greg Dopka. Williams was trying to leak through. One of the underrated aspects of what has happened has been the inconsistency of the lineups for Phoenix. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. It's going to be the best play this evening for Phoenix. Will it be Las Vegas flipping the script and winning for a 3rd straight meeting this season? Jennings, that time again not getting enough on the pass. He does surge forward. Good bit of defending at the last moment.
You start to see Cal Jennings coming alive later in the second half, finding a lot of space to pick up the balls between pockets and dribble as well. So explosive, the way he just glides and evades a lot of Phoenix Rising players.
Here's a long distance shot attempt. Lunt controls again. It's a terrific pass out wide. Hurst pivots, space in the box this time. And the shot doesn't match the beauty of the build. Las Vegas will bring in a change. Morton Bjorshall is coming on, and he will replace Almaguer, 24-year-old from Oslo, Norway. Comes into the match. Division II All-American at the NCAA level. That's the first change, and there aren't a lot of options on that Las Vegas bench. Just 3 more field players available for Enrique Duran.
Phoenix Rising FC. Entering the match is number 8.
So Phoenix will make a change as well.
Leaving the match is number 18.
Luis Sejas is coming out, and Irakosi Donaciano, the Virginia product, will come on.
This is going to shift back Arturo Rodriguez to play in the middle of the field. Donaciano is going to step high as this left winger striker. Just have so much talent. Rick Schantz, players to do so many different positions, the ability to pivot and turn. You see Donaciano actually shift into the right-hand side of the middle 3. Gonna leave Arturo Rodriguez a bit higher. just so good, the understanding on the players that play wide, whether it's the outside back, whether that plays wide in the middle three for Rick Shantz. Never getting caught on the same plane. As one stays wide, one pitches in, and vice versa. It makes it so hard to defend. Saw moments ago, Joey Carlistri getting into the final third inside that 18-yard box. Because Greg Hurst stays wide, there's a lot of space for Lucius to make that underlapping run. I think he makes the wrong decision, going for a goal instead of just putting it across and giving his teammate the chance.
Fifth corner of the night. Iskandarian readies for it. Back post ball. And now Phoenix looking for a counterattack. The pass inaccurate, but Rodriguez keeps the momentum. Rodriguez wanted a foul, and yet again, Greg Dopka, who is right on top of it, says there wasn't one.
I think if he goes down at that initial contact, he gets the call. Looks to play, stay up, and try to get that second phase. And then I think it's too late for the referee to blow the whistle.
Lambert picks up a divot. Passes to Donaciano. And Traore, who's been so good, defends but gives back. Here's an attempt, and that one flies over the top of the bar. Phoenix making the argument for a deflection, but Hurst will not win it.
Such a clever player, Greg Hurst is. Players would take this after that second touch, but he likes to go first time, really try to catch Romero by surprise. Just so unlucky he doesn't get it underneath that crossbar. But again, it's Donaciano that shifts out to the right-hand side. And then it's Greg Hurst taking a more central position. Really causes confusion, the left-sided, the back line for Las Vegas Lights. No one picks up Greg Hurst.
Jennings is offside. 74th minute. Vegas, Phoenix, 0-0. Phoenix had won 9 of the first 12 meetings between the two sides, but they've dropped both matches this year. This pass out wide. Looked like it hit King's hand. No whistle, though. Vegas arguing now. Lambert. Now flicked in. Williams again the target, and he's going to be whistled for a foul. And the fan bases on both sides, the benches getting fired up here in the 75th minute. So we will get our hydration break here in the second half right now. 14 shots to 12 in favor of Phoenix, but 5-2 on target in favor of Las Vegas Lights. And about a quarter hour to go. Things to be solved, but an opportunity for us to reset the match. And take a look at some of the highlights from this one. It was a breakaway in the 11th minute that opened up some of our goal-scoring opportunities. Cal Jennings does so well off of the great pass from Leone, but that last touch just too far in front of him to keep possession, and Luke comes up with one of his 5 saves on the evening. Moments later, Danny Trejo and Jennings working in tandem here with this passing.
It's so good from Danny Trejo not to give up on the play, and then Darnell King acting like Ben Loon, kick save away. You just see him continuing his run and then Cal Jennings understands there is space. Let me just put this in the path and let my strike partner go on and do what he does.
Here was the best opportunity for Phoenix. J.J. Williams working around some of the pitch malfunctions and banging the left bar after a deflection from Lara. Romero fortunate as well that didn't climb off of his back and into the post. And in the waning moments of the first half, yet again, it was Danny Trejo with some magic.
To be able to pull this off. First, that touch. Second, a little move inside. Then Bentlute gets the better of this star in the making of Danny Trejo. Another big kick save from the Phoenix Rising goalkeeper.
Second half hasn't provided a lot of opportunities, but Kevin Lambert had one on the back post. It was always going to be tough to try to put that one on frame, but it hits the outside of the bar, and there have been a couple of those pings by Phoenix so far here this evening. In the first half, we had 5 minutes of stoppage time, so expect some additional time here in the second half. So Iskandarian's shift is coming to an end, and he will be replaced by a 17-year-old out of Los Angeles. Eric Duenas will enter the match. It's 6 appearances rather last season with Vegas, an LAFC youth product out of the midfield. And Iskandarian was very dangerous, tied for the team lead in shot attempts in his shift with 3 of them.
It was really good, Iskandarian, and joining the attack late. So much attention is required by Cal Jennings and Danny Trejo. It leaves a lot of space for him. It's a third man running as well. Maybe didn't get the service on that last opportunity between him and Jennings. We'll see what Duenas can do now. A player that highly regarded by the LAFC organization. Needs to play to this game, hostile environment, young of age, so connect your first passes. That's going to be the key to get the speed up to this match.
Let's see how Las Vegas is able to close out this contest. 5 players available on the bench, one of those being a keeper. That pass eludes Quinn. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at selectsportamerica.com. Select, league's choices, player's choice. Cal Jennings pirouetting. Now play is stopped. There's the 4th official pointing out that Jennings got a piece with the hand. One of the things that Rick Sean said is last week the team got back to their identity. Romero climbs out to grab this. Talked about the first 20 minutes of that matchup. Second goal gave them the belief in what they were doing and kept the clean sheet. Doing a good job so far keeping the clean sheet. Now the question is, can they make it unbeaten in 5 in a row? Hold off for at least a draw, but certainly would like the 3 points to put themselves 1 point out of a playoff spot. Leone flies it in. Luke, sure-handed.
Just lacking ideas. Las Vegas Lights once again to the attacking third. Really good tempo setter, Mike Crisosimo, as they have that turnover. The first pass is forward, breaking line, taking about 2 or 3 red shirts out of the game. Then you need to have that combination, understanding between players. Good turn there to relieve some of the pressure. Commit numbers for it again. It's a 3 before. You want a short option. You want an option that is testing the back line in their shape. Time and time again, Las Vegas Lights don't have that.
Trejo, Jennings, flag up, offside. Rick Schantz's biggest concern was Cal Jennings and Danny Trejo, having to deal with those two that can dictate the game so well. I think it's been a solid effort by Phoenix here tonight. The difference right now is the inability to find that final brilliant moment for Rising. Their wild horse pass. A Phoenix team looking for its 100th win since being rebranded Phoenix Rising. Fine defending there. Now Jennings. There have been some of these moments in transition. That's a clean win according to Greg Dopka. Perhaps some heavy legs for Phoenix. Rodriguez. There's space here. Williams the target. K9 clears. And there is a foul whistled. Bjorshaw is the guilty one. Fans clamoring and finally winning that argument.
Good opportunity here. Aiden Quinn sets up extremely nice for a left-footer. Just to whip this ball in, aiming for right between that 6-yard box and penalty area. Trying to catch Romero in no man's land. It's different from a corner kick because it just is a different angle. Fancies the ball that's bending away from the goalkeeper. And you have the players like Lambert, Musa, JJ Williams, Farrell. They're so good in the air. A lot of targets of options for Quinn right now.
Here comes Aiden Quinn. Oh, these collide in the box. Does get cleared to the sideline and a throw for Phoenix. Probably bank on about 10 more minutes with stoppage time, maybe more. Another ball flown in. A lot of crosses. That ball hits Donaciano. The Roma. Jennings making the run. Instead laid back. Trejo. Leone. Like a shot attempt and really never gave it a chance. And a change coming here. 18-year-old Nathan Ordaz replaces Cal Jennings. So with 7 goals on the season, Jennings will not get the opportunity to add to that.
Good shift from the striker from Las Vegas Lights. Cal Jennings working non-stop, riding that line of the Phoenix Rising back line, stretching them, putting them on their heels. Always is a handful. Now we'll see what Ordaz has. Much like Dueñas, he needs to play himself into this game. Just be a handful. Occupy Musa, occupy Farrell. It's going to leave a lot of space for Danny Trejo and the players underneath you to come in and pick up the ball.
There's a foul whistled. So some of these physical plays that were not whistled earlier are starting to come into play. Join Phoenix Rising FC Wednesday, August 31st at Wild Horse Pass as they celebrate Frontline Workers Night presented by Northern Arizona University. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for more information. Corner kick coming up. This has been one of the few corners that will be taken on Quinn's side where he can in-swing it. Overall, corner number 7. Still looking for a breakthrough. Quinn pushes it into the box. And yet again, it's a white jersey that gets the first touch on it. But it was last touched by Rising.
The service has been so good here from Aiden Quinn, but it's been equally as good, well defended from Las Vegas Lights. You have to give credit to K9 and Lara. Up to the task. It was always going to be a challenge against this high-flying power after the confident win that they had against Colorado Springs, this Phoenix Rising side. They've answered every single question, really good in the positioning, working together, communication, all of the above. That's what you want from your leaders in the back line.
It's been 4 straight clean sheets for Phoenix. This could be a 5th in a row. And they could only have 1 win out of that stretch if this score holds. And if Phoenix isn't able to make that final push down the stretch to get into a playoff spot, they could look back at this last month as a big part of the reason why. As the target as it's cleared out. One more change here for Phoenix. Richmond Antwi will come out. J.J. Williams will see his shift come to an end. It was a great opening half, but his teammates weren't able to find him in the second half as frequently.
It was causing all sorts of problems in the first half, getting on the end of balls, being pumped into dangerous areas. Didn't really find that same rhythm coming out of the break. It's more direct, the way that the Phoenix Rising approach, I think, plays better to the hands of J.J. Williams if he's more of a combination type, number 9, back to goal, players running off him. For his size, he has really soft feet. It's just a different look with Antwi coming in, play that's full of pace, full of energy, very opportunistic. So look for him to really stretch out this back line. Greg Gerst is going to move centrally. Antwi's going to play off to the right-hand side.
DeRoma injured, and that'll force the stoppage in play. Overall shot attempts 15-13 in favor of Rising, but 5-2 in favor of Lights.
It's that extension of the right arm. I think that catches DeRoma. Goes down. Clutching his hamstring, maybe a bit of cramping involved with him and Kevin Lambert.
Just had that hydro break about 15 minutes ago. Now here in the 90th minute, still at 0-0. Michael Watrang, Ricky Lopez Espin, and our entire crew watching this one. And Antwi has just picked up a yellow as well. Right onto the field, get a couple touches, pick up a yellow. So with this injury, have to tack that on to the stoppage time.
A caution has been issued by the referee to Phoenix Rising FC number 33, Richmond Antwi.
Back into action here. King, the target, slows it down. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Check that. Just went to 5 minutes. That's what we had in the first half. Here's a ball into the box. It's all the way over to King. King back in. We'll expect Phoenix to make that mad rush. I mentioned the fact that they play 10 of the next 11 against the West, but only 4 are at home. These are matches you have to come away with 3 points. Antwi turning. Who can provide a late winner? It's a fine slide tackle. Low ball in, was looking towards the penalty spot. King. Phoenix has pushed everybody forward. Antwi. Antwi shot! Whistles past, and it is a corner for Phoenix.
The ability to create your own space inside that 18-yard box is the difference between an elite striker and a good striker. Talk about fancy footwork here, dancing all over the ball. And to have that little bit of a window, making Bjorshaw lunge left and right. Just so unlucky, pulls it far too wide. A brilliant opportunity, brilliant take from Antwi.
Aiden Quinn readies. It'll be cleared away. Guayas, the first one to it. Phoenix is making that push with about 2 minutes to go. It's a fine move. It doesn't get cleared very well, but Romero, who's put together a very fine night, seeking his second clean sheet of the year. Now some more pushing and shoving here after the fact. K9, Bjorshaw for Vegas, and an argument as well from Antwi and Lambert. Somebody's going into the book here. And it is K9. Here's another look at it. Antwi taking exception of Romero going down. And then K9, the 37-year-old, stepping in immediately. Usa had the final word. And K9 was the one that gets the booking. K9's seen it all. Played in Israel, played in England, now here in the United States, has represented his native country, Israel. Nearly 30 caps. Perhaps it's Las Vegas that can steal something here in the waning seconds.
It's really hard to do that, but there's no presence inside that 18-yard box. You see Monas coming in late, nothing giving. It's been a story of that. I haven't had that presence up there since Cal Jennings came off the field. Really a threat in the attacking third. Enrique Duran's boys. A hard challenge there from Traore.
Well, one would have to think, despite some of these stoppages, despite some of these moments, that this will be the real last chance for Phoenix. Here it is again.
It's a hard swipe at the ball. Really no need for that. Just stay your ground, stand your feet, stand them up. Wants to go for the home run tackle. Sees himself in the book instead. The last opportunity here for Phoenix Rising. You don't want to loop this ball, put too much air underneath it. You want to give it pace and step it right into that penalty spot. Someone get a flick on.
Here's this ball lifted in. And there's your full-time whistle. For the first time in the history of the series, Phoenix does not beat Las Vegas on the home pitch. And Las Vegas stays clear of the playoff line, and Phoenix has a 5th consecutive shutout. But only a point will be spared here today. And 7 points totally accumulated in that 5-match stretch. Ben Lunt is tonight's man of the match, presented by Phoenix Children's Hospital. It was a fine effort put in yet again by Lunt here tonight as he comes up with 5 more saves. But Phoenix unable to get that goal. 2 teams that felt like they were building for it, Ricky, never could put in the finishing touches.
And he did his job, that's for sure. Ben Lunt, I'll tell you what, if he wasn't in goal, who knows what would have happened with Danny Trejo and Kyle Jennings running at him. He did his job, but Phoenix Rising was unable to do their job on their other side of the field. They did extremely good to get to that final third, but once they were in that final third is where it broke down. Yes, they had a lot of combination play. Yes, they had a lot of clean shots from distance, but nothing really threatening. Romero, with the firepower that Rick Schantz has, bringing in J.J. Williams, you would think that would change. You would think they would have that finishing product like they had that outburst against Colorado Springs. They were confident coming out, but the quality wasn't there in the end. Again, it's a frustrating result for Rick Schantz at home, in front of their home hostile fans, unable to give them that final product, that individual bit of brilliance that was lacking. But good result for Enrique Duran and Las Vegas on the road.
The good news for Phoenix, the scoreless streak reaches 455 minutes defensively. But tonight at Wild Horse Pass, it's a 0-0 draw. Full-time highlights and wrapping things up when we come back.
Lerner & Rowe is proud to be the official personal injury attorneys of Phoenix Rising. Our goal is getting you all the money you deserve. When you're in a wreck and need a check, make one call, that's all, to Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
For all the special moments in your life, Arizona Federal Credit Union has been there for you. And for all the special moments still to come, we'll continue to be there. All the same amazing services you expect, with a new name. Arizona Financial Credit Union. Now serving everywhere you call home.
Las Vegas has visited Wild Horse Pass 6 times. In the first 5 meetings, they gave up at least 4 goals and never won. Tonight, it's a 0-0 draw as Phoenix picks up a 5th consecutive clean sheet here this evening. Back to wrap things up with Ricky. I'm Michael. Here are your full-time highlights from this matchup, and it starts right at the end of the first half. Las Vegas took their opportunities to push forward, but this touch by Danny Trejo was one of the great moments from the top 2 attackers in this match.
It just shows you the skill that he has to be able to pull this down in traffic, skip away from Musa. Just so unlucky not to find that far post. The reason he is a man of the match, and that's a massive save there from Ben Lunt.
here in the second half now. Kevin Lambert was on the back post with a chance perhaps to open the scoring in the 64th minute. Hits the outside of the cage. And then in the waning seconds, Richmond Antwi, a second half sub. Good footwork, but hooked it wide. And that ensured that this match would stay 0-0 after full-time action. It is a valuable point, however, for Phoenix. They are in the 9th place, but the problem is 5 clean sheets in a row, 15 possible points. They've only secured 7 in that stretch.
You're doing the hard part defensively. It's really hard to not let teams score. You do it as good as Phoenix Rising, you expect to be higher up that table. You expect to get more points, especially on that stretch of games. And you're asking Rick Johnson out, yeah, you did well. You played extremely well, but now, well, it's not good enough at the moment. You need to start getting results, whether it's pretty, whether it's ugly, whatever it may be. You need to keep climbing up that table as playoffs are coming around the corner. Keep pushing that envelope. Enrique Duran is going to be the happier of the two managers coming into Wild Horse Pass. Really hostile environment. Record is against you in your history here to grind out a result. Didn't have much of the ball, but defensively extremely good, extremely organized, extremely disciplined. Really good showing from Enrique Duran's boys to walk away with the point.
Las Vegas has beaten Phoenix twice this season. They also get a valuable road point for the first time in 15 overall meetings against Phoenix here in their 6th road trip. Phoenix has its 2nd longest shutout streak in club history, but a 0-0 draw here tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Thanks for watching along with us. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.